Hello, pretty people. Running a little sideways today. More than anything else, just a little sideways. Not feeling 100%, but I'll power through. Running a bit behind. I would normally have this all set up by now, but as I say, running a bit behind. Let's see, we'll do that one, and of course that one today. Close those, and go here and here. I really need to turn off those autoplay settings, and I keep forgetting. That one. And one more. But because that's where we usually start, I'll just hit enter. Oops, I clicked away. I'll just hit enter, and we'll play it immediately. Okay. Don't have a big show today, so we'll get some of this out of the way fairly quickly, I think. So to start with our Sic Semper Mentalis, thus always to dickheads, we start with the chief dickhead of Minnesota. The Minnesota House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee just gave Ilhan Omar a May 5th deadline to produce documents relating to her involvement in the Feeding Our Future fraud scheme. This comes after she refused to show up for a fraud hearing. Some people did some things, yeah. Nothing will happen to her. She won't get arrested. We've seen this movie before. Prove me wrong. It's hard not to be in the nothing ever happens crowd. It's not because you're Muslim. It's because you're a criminal, anti-Semitic, anti-America, pro-terrorist, and a disgrace as a member of Congress. No, it's just because she's a criminal. A screenshot of Ilhan Omar saying the words America and Al-Qaeda. Yeah. Substance sprayed on Representative Ilhan Omar reportedly identified as apple cider vinegar. It's almost as if it was staged. Somalian pirate exposed to the world. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to check and see if my chat was going to run properly today. Just 1 second. Let me pop out my chat window and get that done. We'll bring that over here. OBS and chat, and I am forever... Oh dear, what happened there? Where's my pinned message? That's very weird. There it is. Okay, it is there. Good. Okay, we can put that away. We'll do a quick chatbot check now that we're into the show. May work. That does work. What do you know? Okay. Life is good. Okay, so the NGO system. We never said deport some of them, or only the worst. We said deport every single one. Yeah. Yeah. Being so proud of being a Muslim, she surely would prefer to get punished under Sharia law, right? Oof. What is the penalty for fraud/theft in Sharia law? Well, I know what the penalty for shoplifting would be. In Sharia law, the penalty for theft, sarikah, is amputation of the right hand from the wrist, as prescribed in the Quran, Surah 5, verse 38. This is a fixed punishment, also known as a had, intended as a deterrent, but it is subject to strict conditions that often prevent its application. The stolen property must meet a minimum value threshold, traditionally defined as 1/4 of a gold dinar or more. It must be an intentional, stealthy, deliberate act. Well, yes, it's theft. It's not oopsie. Ownership property must be privately owned, securely stored. Well, see, privately owned is a problem because technically embezzling government funds under Sharia would be perfectly fine. Yeah. Okay. Is fraud treated as theft in Sharia? Let's try that, since it talked about theft specifically. Yes, fraud is generally treated as a form of theft, so even under Sharia law, she wouldn't be facing much. Fuck's sakes. She said she doesn't know the value of her winery. I understand Ilhan Omar despises this picture and wants it taken down and no longer shared. You know what to do. Yeah. Tastes like tax fraud, yeah. That's an AI video. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I know nothing. Oof. Harvard research reveals generations of inbreeding enable Somali to outsmart Governor Tim Walz. Yeah, this one is absolutely true. America was built by Christian greatness, not third world parasites. Yep. Let's see, what else have we got? I don't think I have... No, I only have 2 for Sextemperamentalist today. And I think they're both politicians. Yep. So this is Julius Malema. He's willing to condemn murder, but not of white people. Because he's an absolute piece of shit.
I'm willing to condemn murder. More than willing, but not of white people. I'm not going to play in the hands of white supremacists. I'm willing to condemn murder. More than willing, but not of white people.
Okay, so he's not willing to condemn murder if it's white people. That's a pretty clear-cut case of being a piece of shit. It's this next part that pisses me off.
I'm not going to play in the hands of white supremacists.
How would a black man condemning the murder of white people play into the hands of white supremacy, Mr. Malema? Now, I'm sure the prosecutor never asked him that question because it wasn't really germane to the proceedings. This is, I assume, his trial, or after his trial, when he was convicted and sentenced for, I believe, 5 years for gun offense. Yeah. He's just a piece of shit. Yeah, this I actually agree with. South Africa should be under sanctions. It deserves to be under sanctions. If it was sanctioned during apartheid, it should be sanctioned now for its government's behavior towards other citizens. But probably won't be. I don't know what this one says. Tidom Tigan, I don't know what that means. It might be kill the Boer for all I know, or drive them out, I don't know. Scorched earth. Fair enough, get all the whites out of Africa, dump every single black in the Western world there then. Yeah. If they really want to be separate, let them be separate, let them go home. Let's see. Next up is Base Japan, of course. And only a couple from Base Japan today, I think. We'll start with, oops. Oh, I lost that one, unfortunately. That's okay, it wasn't that important. It's more entertaining if you're following me on X anyway. So we'll go with this one. We have Japanese feminist Chizuko Ueno, this one from Hoda Hoda Sa. And I do apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Middle school boys should ask older women to let them have sex with them. Don't give up even if you get rejected. If you kneel and beg 10 times, you might get sex once. The creepiness of feminists is universal. Yeah, Marxists in general are extremely disturbing people when it comes to sex. Vulgar pedophilia. Yeah. Any ideas as to who the masterminds are behind all this feminism and gender ideology? This is Beata, I assume that's how it's pronounced, Beata Sorota Gordon, changed women's rights in Japan. New children's book shows how her upbringing and bit of good old-fashioned chutzpah helped a 22-year-old woman change a country's destiny. She doesn't look 22. And then keep mum about it for decades. Wood chipper says Didger. Agreed. The nuclear family must be destroyed, and people must find better ways of living together. It's funny, I'm willing to bet the nuclear family is very strong in Israel. Whatever its ultimate meaning, the breakup of families now is an objectively revolutionary process. And that's Linda Gordon, who might be the same woman. Jews in the feminist movement. What else have we got here? Yeah. So I guess she likes to use a surname, or a pseudonym, rather, occasionally. That's a known psychological response to childhood trauma. That is one of the potential responses to childhood trauma. Childhood trauma is not the cause of all sexual abuse or pedophilia, but yeah. Most bizarre feature of the feminist future is it produces men that no woman actually wants. No woman wants a namby-pamby, actual literal boy to beg her for sex. Yeah. Every woman wants a 6'8" hunter who doesn't even look at her. Yeah. Well, they want someone competent and capable. She looks like she has inhaled a lot of copium. No. Unfortunately, she's probably inhaled a lot of young boys, probably. Yep, right there with you. So it doesn't matter the country. The leftards are freaks and degenerates everywhere. Yes, they are. And since you caught that, I will throw you a follow. Okay. The Marxism continues. Now, this time, it's racial Marxism. Pause this. I'll read this. From 26ers BP115, a black guy with a face straight out of a manga says, "You got nuked by white people because you supported white people." I understand you're probably historically illiterate, but do you have to be stupid on top of it? Black people didn't nuke you, white people did. Let's unite against whiteness. Don't make me laugh, says 26ers. Who the hell's going to unite with you? Just one of you showing up does more damage to Japan than any nuke ever could. Oof. I called it Base Japan for a reason. I'm starting to think sometimes that I should have called it Savage Japan. Streets get trashed, security goes to hell, culture gets wrecked. Hiroshima bounced back, but if your kind of immigrants roll in, it'll never be the same again. So the caption on the screen here reads, "Black people aren't common in Japan and never will be. They have strict immigration laws." So he probably had to find a source somewhere. I don't think he meant harm. Dear God, what a freeze frame. For the record, when you edit your videos, try to avoid looking like this before someone clicks play.
So I'm going to keep this really brief. We forget that
Hi, Didger.
the reason the United States bombed Japan during World War II.
Just a thought there, my friend, but maybe you should cut your hair, because it doesn't look like your scalp is getting properly cleaned. I know that's why mine itches so much sometimes.
Is because Japan
Also, what the fuck is with those glasses?
was allied with the Nazis.
Oh no, not the mid-20th century origin myth again.
Okay?
Oh god, I can't watch any more of this guy. That's just, it's retardation. Immigrants are the third atomic bomb. No, they produce even greater damage. Biological warfare. It's hard to disagree. I did ask Grok if any members of the flight crews that dropped the nuclear bombs on Japan were black. It doesn't appear they were, so, yeah. Just asking the question. No, the Enola Gay and Boxcar crews from the 509th Composite Group were all white U.S. airmen. And that gives the full rosters, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. No black members flew these missions. Now, that's not necessarily true. Grok responded based only on the bombs or the planes that dropped the actual bombs. Didn't talk about the weather reconnaissance flights or any of the other activity around the bombing, so yeah. No time to explain, grab a cactus. Oh, Jesus. Somebody's about to have a real bad day. Didn't do muffins. If Japan has taught us anything, it is that nuclear bombs are less destructive than diversity. Yep. Let's see here. IQ. Patriot Muffy. Chase them out before they get a footing, or you will have an infestation impossible to cure. That's, we was crangs and shit, yo. Didger says, Muppet of a retarded human seriously giving FAS energy there. Yeah, there may be a degree of that involved. Okay, let's move over to the largest section, the comment section, of course, or as I like to refer to it, living in clown world, having to deal with the consequences. Chris Ryan, throw him a follow. Toronto police just seized SMS blasters, fake cell towers never seen before in Canada. These portable devices hijack thousands of phones at once, blast fake bank/Canada Post texts, and knock out real service, which includes 911 calls. Tens of thousands of phones were hit, over 13 million disruptions. 3 men were charged. Da Feng Lin, 27, of Hamilton. I will push X to doubt that. Jun Min Shi, 25, of Markham. Pushing X again. Wei Tong Hu, 21, of Markham. Have you broken your X button yet? This is next level cybercrime on our streets. Stay alert. Never click surprise links. Yeah, this is the PSA section of the show, basically. If you get a text that you're not expecting that looks kind of sus, even if you think it might be you just being a bit paranoid, be fucking paranoid. Yeah, Toronto police seize SMS blasters. Yeah, okay, we covered that. Project Lighthouse. TPS has arrested 3 Chinese foreign nationals and laid 44 charges in a sophisticated cybercrime investigation. Yeah. Today in Beijing, PM Mark Carney says he is heartened by the leadership. Yeah. But we've aligned with China on issues of security. Yeah. Do I need to repeat the parable of the scorpion and the frog? Mark Carney, in 2025, I think the biggest security threat to Canada is China. Mark Carney, in 2026, less than a year later, Canada and China are forging a new strategic partnership. Yeah. Oh, he's not owned by China. Trudeau was owned by China. I mean, this guy chewed Trudeau out publicly. Yeah, I don't think she would try that with Carney. Yeah. Look at that. How could you not love this guy's face? He looks just like Winnie the fucking Pooh. And I know that pisses him off, and that's why I say it. He's free to ask me to stop, personally. Okay, moving on. So, I don't know if you guys saw this video or not. I thought I had posted it, but I don't believe it. I did actually cover it. The young fellow on the left here was asking a young white girl for her phone number. When she refused, he picked her up bodily, slammed her on the ground, and then stomped on her head. New mother of the New York City teen who slammed a girl and stomped on her head after she refused to give him her number claims her son is the victim. Yeah, he's a good boy. He didn't do nothing. She's racist. This is what the mother says. She was calling him a dirty nigger and dirty slurs. Bullshit. We've all seen the video. The 15-year-old girl was hospitalized for 2 days and is now recovering, her family said. The 14-year-old thug was arrested and charged with assault. There's a mistake. He should have been charged with attempted fucking murder. Because that's what you would accomplish by stomping on someone's fucking head. His mother, Salima Allen, claimed the incident was retaliation, saying the girl had been bullying her son. Why was he asking for her phone number if she was bullying him? She was being a bully to him, that's it, Allen told the New York Post. Bitch, we have video. There is evidence that your son did this shit perfectly willingly. Your son was the aggressor in this situation. Fuck off. But, let's give her a chance to actually defend her son, right?
Why did he stomp on her head?
She said something to him. You know what she did first? She pushed him. And he has flat foot, 10 foot, like that, because I took him to the hospital Monday, too. Yes!
But you don't see that on the video.
I have that video. I have that piece of
But her shoving.
No, the same one.
But her shoving him. How does that equal him picking her up, dropping her on her neck, and then stomping on her head?
Let me be
clear. It seems like you're justifying it.
No.
No. Yeah, you are.
They were coming from school together.
Okay.
Look at the fucking duper's delight on this bitch's face. Look at that duper's delight. Now, for those of you who don't know, I will actually give you the definition of duper's delight. Come on. Duper's delight is the psychological phenomenon where a deceiver experiences a thrill or dopamine rush upon successfully getting away with a lie, often manifesting as involuntary facial expressions like smirking or lip biting. Coined by detection scientist Paul Ekman, this emotion arises from the excitement of the risk and their perceived superiority over the target rather than guilt or fear. Key aspects include something called involuntary leakage. The pleasure is often leaked through micro-expressions. There's nothing fucking micro about that bitch's face, let alone her expression, such as crinkling eyes, biting lips, or throwing the head back. Psychological drivers. It is common in individuals with Machiavellian or narcissistic traits who view deception as a game of power and may feel contempt for those they deceive. Escalation risk. While often triggered by minor deceptions, the high can reinforce lying behavior, potentially leading to more significant or harmful lies over time. How many things has her kid done in the past that she has successfully lied his way out of it? Detained, denaturalized, deport. One-way trebuchet. I'm sorry, that's death penalty offense as far as I'm concerned. That's attempted murder of a child. I don't care if it is a child doing it. In this case, he is a fucking grown, physically grown man. No, sorry. Fuck off. You go in the ground. Not pathological lying. Unlike pseudologia fantastica, compulsive lying without emotional reward, Duper's delight involves a genuine positive emotional response to the success of the deception. Yeah. You tell me that woman doesn't know she's lying and isn't absolutely feeling like she's getting one over on the entire world? Look at that. She can barely contain herself.
Okay.
But you're friends, going to the park. That's what they did every day.
And then she's bullying him.
She's bullying Najir from in the school.
And what is she saying to him to bully him?
She said, dirty nigga. She's a racist. She's calling dirty nigga and dirty slurs. That's from my understanding because he's been emailed.
Is that what your boy told you? Gee, could he have learned that from, I don't know, DeCarlos Brown fucking Jr.?
Me from the school. You understand? Because my kids, if they take phone, they email the parents.
Right.
Yes, because they're so smart they are.
But
Yeah, she really does think she's going to get something over on people. From Appalachian Liberty. Makes perfect sense how he's turned out like this. Maybe she can go in the tree next to. Oof. I wouldn't put them in trees. This shows why the son turned out to be like that. If the mother could defend such an act, then she is a failed parent. Yeah. Single mother, most likely, too. White people have never been around blacks. I'm not racist. White people who have, you will be. That's not fair. It's not racism to see reality. Because mean words justifies a taller male pile driving a small girl into concrete and then stomping that hard on her skull. Yeah. Or stomping the yard with her skull. Culture is fragile. Yeah. I'm not racist. I have lactose intolerance. Acts like one, gets called one. Yep. Didn't do nothing. Rochester man given 180 days in jail for raping girls. Victims between 4 and 9 years old. Yeah, he'll probably get a few weeks in jail. He might not even get jail time. This is the sad reality that we live in. He might very well not even get jail time. Okay, let's go over to Europe. Sort of. You want to talk about retarded? Canada is giving $8 million for repairs to Chernobyl after it was hit by a Russian drone. Supposedly. The Honorable Anita Anand, that's a bit of a misnomer, Minister of Foreign Affairs, today announced a contribution of $8 million for critical repair work to the Chernobyl nuclear power plant's new safe confinement. Yeah, like J-Gen Xer says. Wonder when our tax dollars will be spent, I don't know, in Canada, for Canada? Yeah. Sucking Canada dry, yep. You mean the Bank of George Soros? Yeah. This is the only place my tax dollars should be spent. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'll throw you a like for that. Oh, come on. They do invest serious money in our safety, too. Let's be fair here. Public Safety Canada. Minister Gary announces $95,000 to the City of Winnipeg for a pilot project to support crime prevention. Yeah, projects in the billions. Yep. The never-ending Ukrainian grift. Yep. Oh, look. Yeah, she does have a new job. She doesn't work for Canada anymore. Thank fuck. At least she's not our problem anymore. Let's see. What do we got here? One from Jeff Evely. Yeah, we're back to the Nova Scotia fucking woods ban. Jesus Christ, I can't believe this actually got said. From Jeff Evely. Tyrant Timmy Houston officially confirms that he is above the law because he cares so much. As C.S. Lewis said, and I think this is actually a misquote a little bit, of all tyrannies, a tyranny sincerely exercised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. Nova Scotians have a super creepy rogue regime on our hands. Yeah, this is an extremely short clip. So this is from Rebel News. Tim Houston, Premier of Nova Scotia, defends his actions of banning the public from the province's forested areas, despite a court ruling calling out his failure to consider charter rights.
Will you appeal the decision?
I don't think so. I'm not aware of an appeal being prepared. It's kind of come and gone. And as we move forward, I, as Premier, will certainly look at circumstances that are in front of me at any given moment in time. And I will always do what is necessary to keep people safe, to keep
people safe, sure.
Property safe.
Whose property? The government's property. And they might as well think of you as property.
Every single time we'll make that decision. We'll do that again if necessary.
We will break the law again if we feel we have to. Yeah. Fuck these people. Like I said, some motherfuckers are always trying to escape uphill. I fucked that up too. Surely you're going to sue them for your emotional distress, interdimensional forest... Jesus, I love that name. Interdimensional forest penguin. Jeff Evely, I think the lawsuits would be better coming from people whose livelihoods were impacted. None of this was ever about me. Yeah. Good man. Social media made y'all way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it. Yeah, Tyson's not wrong there. I believe that is an actual quote from Mike Tyson as well. But since we're talking about criminality, we'll come back to this one. A terrorist who stormed a Canadian military recruitment center and stabbed a corporal because, quote, Allah told him to come here and kill people, has been granted permission to fly to Mecca and continue on to Somalia for an arranged marriage. I'm not fucking kidding. We're flying them out so they can marry. So they can produce the next generation of terrorists who will do the same fucking shit. Yeah, when he doesn't come back. When you realize that the only way this ends is when people start doing things you can't post about online. Well, you know, once they're over international waters. GETTR says he's not appealing because he knows he'll lose and because he doesn't actually care. He got the control freak thrill he wanted. Yeah. Yeah, shouldn't this guy be swinging by the neck at the end of a rope? Yes. Short drop, sudden stop. I don't understand. He was rewarded for the evil he did. Have we forgotten Omar fucking Khadr that quickly? This sounds ridiculous. What will happen if... Okay, yeah, it was a badly phrased question. I'm not even going to look for the answer. Won't somebody think of the terrorists? Peak Canada 2026, yep. Why is it always this religion? It isn't, but it's mostly them. Pure retardium. What in the cornbread of hell, yeah. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Of course, says the archiver, Canadians have tons of money to fly their killers across the oceans to pick up a bride. Just like we have tons of money to fly pregnant women to New Jersey for their abortions. Yeah. Okay, we have one from Basil the Great, which initially will be a little heartwarming until you figure out what happened. So this is kids in the UK just celebrating St. George's Day. GETTR says, so it's okay to attack and potentially kill Canadian soldiers. Got it. Soldiers in the employ of the Canadian government. We have to be specific that way, because if you say Canadian soldiers, it almost sounds like they're all Canadians, and we do know that the federal government has decided to start recruiting troops from overseas. Yeah. So, of course, it couldn't be allowed to continue. From Basil the Great. In the UK, this video of kids supporting England... Oh, sorry, it was at the World Cup. I thought they were celebrating St. George's Day, which happened recently. Was taken down after the woke mob harassed the school with complaints. They said it was, quote, far-right and promoted hooliganism. Yes, because, you know, a school full of white children is terrifying. Jesus. As I said, they should have had a couple of Muslim kids chanting about jihad in the background, I guess. Yeah. Unchecked rape gangs. Kids cheering for England at the World Cup. Yeah. The UK supports Sharia law. Patriotism isn't racist. Yeah, but they don't mind this. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, that's actually AI, so. Sickening. Yep. What are we looking at here? Let's see who you are first. Proud to be English and a citizen of the UK. Just wanted justice for a wonderful human being. Retweets are not endorsements. Okay, and she's posting grifty. Millwall consider legal action against Westminster Council after club badge was placed on KKK figure in children's educational booklet. The image appeared in a booklet called The Paul Canaville Story, distributed to schools as part of an anti-racism program. So, because someone, probably unauthorized, added this symbol of a football club to this character, the football club is... Oh, sorry, no, the council. Well, fair. Oh, okay, no, it's the football club is considering... Yeah, okay, that's fair. Original video wasn't taken down, this person claims. Are we sure about that? Did this happen? No, also no, but in yellow. Well, maybe. The part of it that bothers me is it's very easy to believe that it would have been. And it's not outside the realm of possibility that it still could. Okay, from random W's and L's. Why do they become monsters around white women? Yeah, I'm going to pause this before this happens. Liberals will see this and call it romance. No, they won't, but they'll say he didn't do nothing. Yeah, this country is doomed. Yeah, this is going to be hard to watch. But it's worth looking at for a couple of reasons, and I'll get into them after the video. It's only a 10-second video.
Shut the fuck up. You heard me the first time.
Oh my god, King!
Stop fucking calling me, nigga.
King!
Nigga.
Back off!
Shut up, bitch!
Okay. Couple of things. It's okay to attack... Oh, cut that. Yeah, so I don't know what the hell this guy is doing. I'm going to assume this is his concept of flirting, and then when that doesn't go his way, he gets violent. Also, would you pull up your fucking pants? Why is he half naked in school in any case? And of course, we see him just lose his shit and punch somebody. Now, I will say, kudos to the young white fella for at least saying something. But if you're not going to stand up and say something, and stand up and be prepared to do something, you have done nothing. And he's absolutely right to say what he says here.
Back off!
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah, you're being a bitch. If you're not going to get up and physically defend somebody, don't talk shit. Because all you're going to do is get hit. The moment a man walks into a room dressed like this, all the other men should immediately swarm and beat him out of the room. Yeah, you know, that's one option for sure. Let's see. The more you let someone get away with things like this, the more they're going to do it. Yeah. They hate white women. The media is continually showing with blacks, but which normal white girls don't really like. Yeah, statistics are bearing out the fact that interracial marriage continues to be extremely rare for white women. Let's see. Because white women can give birth to white babies. This isn't just about violence. It's about the genocide of the white race. Yes, really, says John Dickinson, 1776. I mean, you're not wrong. Interracial violent incidents per capita of offending race. White on black, 30. This is incidents per 100,000 offender population. So white offenders on black victims, 30. Hispanic on black, 75. White on Hispanic, 105. Black on Hispanic, 254. Hispanic on white, 620. Black on white, 1,288. Oof. Yeah. If we want to make America great again, we will have to make evil people fear punishment. It isn't just punishment that they need to fear. They need to fear being caught. They need to fear that if they do a bad thing, they will be discovered. I hate the content of the character. Yeah, it turns out they were being judged by the content of their character the whole time there, Martin. North American ground apes. Stop. Stop screaming. It's bad for the narrative. Okay, carry on. Yeah. I'm past the point of just wanting them in prison. Brought to you by the SPLC. We did that. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, his single mother. Yeah. Yeah. Look at his pants hanging down. His mother must be very proud. Yeah. I'm detecting a disparity in the numbers that indicates a cultural phenomenon. I wonder what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I can't suss it out either. Yeah. Black victims of white rapists. Well, I think this is a little bit skewed. The reason thugs sag their pants. Oh, this is actually a video. Let's, I've always been curious about this. Why do they sag their pants?
That's why they wear pants down to the kneecaps. So used to getting whoopings, they just let their jeans sag. Grew up.
Okay. Yeah, it's always them, boo-boo. Black privilege is the right to be as loud, obnoxious, and violent as you like without losing your victimhood, yeah. Speaking of people who refuse to give up their victimhood and act like sensible human beings, this bitch. This is from Darren Grimes. We'll pause this here, scroll this back. The Reform UK winner in Cornwall goes to shake the hand of his Green Party opponent. She refuses to do so. The Green Party, the most dangerous party in Britain today, but I would still shake their hand. You know why? You can be wrong and still be human. Performative petulance. Yeah. We'll just watch this real quick. Green Party candidate refuses to shake a Reform member's hand. The Green Party is currently experiencing a split, a schism, if you will, between the communist members of the party and the Islamist members of the party. Yeah, yeah. What low-class, childish bullshit behavior is this? You're in a Western country and you can't even behave with Western standards, but you want to be an elected representative for a Western population. Just post Vlad's eyes, yeah. Yep. And no one should ever offer to shake that bitch's hand ever again. It's plain rude. The mentality is petty, yeah. Act like immature, petulant children, yeah. When Green Party voters realize Allahu Akbar does not mean please recycle. I wouldn't shake Hitler's hand, so I'm with the Greens on this. Okay, Jason, what kind of Marxist are you? Yeah, that's what I figured. Vote Green if you're insane. Free drugs, yeah. Well, is there actual... Okay, I'm going to have to put the, yes, this does contain AI this time on my YouTube video.
Good luck.
No, thank you.
Right then. Oh, what was that for?
Good. For being a cunt. What do you think? Green Party HQ mental hospital, yeah. Never underestimate the hypocrisy of a socialist. Yep. Oh, I say, what a cunt. The UK used to be the land of good sportsmanship. You lot invented the notion of losing but shaking hands and saying, well done, old chap, with a smile, and taking the winner out for a pint at the local. The sore loser is not part of British culture. True. Okay, from one retarded UK politician to another UK politician who is equally or potentially worse. Oh, the physiognomy, yeah. Yeah. From Connor Tomlinson, quoting Danny Kruger. I have absolutely no objection to Muslims. As a man of faith, I respect people who believe in God. That's a good thing for our society to have. Danny Kruger says immigrants must integrate into British society, but refuses to deport any of those who don't once they have British citizenship. He then praises Muslims for practicing Islam in Britain, despite later saying that if Britain were to become majority Muslim, it would be unrecognizable. This is incoherent. It is Marxist doublespeak, Connor. Kruger's liberalism will not stop British people from becoming a demographic minority in their own country. We don't have to tolerate this.
The problem is when you have that on a mass...
This is a 4-minute clip, so I'm not going to do it to you, but I'll give you a taste of this guy's voice.
When you have whole towns, cities, living separately, and also, I'm afraid to say, living in ways that we do not regard as conducive to the well-being of the individuals themselves. So, having models of family and community life that are not just separate, but are actually deeply harmful to the members, the vulnerable people within those groups. So
this guy can't figure out what he's trying to say. He's talking about individual goods. He's talking about cultural differences. This guy, if he's any kind of... Who is Danny Kruger, actually, come to think of it? I need to find that out, because I don't think he's necessarily some sort of political representative. Oh, dear God, he's actually an MP for Reform. Served as a member of Parliament since 2019. He was initially elected, go figure, as a Tory MP, but defected to Reform September last year, becoming the first Conservative MP, sitting Conservative MP to do so. Educated at Eton, University of Edinburgh, and Oxford. And he has a doctorate of philosophy, so a PhD in history. Wow. Yeah. So there's that guy's incoherence versus Rupert Lowe. Yeah. Didger says... let's see, where are we here? The physiognomy is correct. Didger says, I mean, if Hitler offered to shake my hand, I mean, I can be a gentleman. Yeah. Kruger has no principles, only ideological talking points. However contradictory, he has no spine either, which explains his inability to stand on a principle convincingly. Rupert, my dude, you've got to win those seats, yeah. Let's go. Aim high, vote low. Rupert Lowe says, I've just been attacked by both Polanski and Corbyn. Oh no, not Jeremy Corbyn, that bastion of intellectuals. I can't even finish it. Over my calls to implement a hostile environment for illegal migrants. What a duo. Zach Polanski, leader of the Green Party, I think, I know he's in the Green Party, says I should be, quote, absolutely condemned, calling it nasty and cruel. Corbyn, famously anti-Semitic, says it's utterly repulsive. Utterly repulsive. Okay, lads, if you say so. I am very much of the view that allowing hundreds of thousands of unvetted young men from cultures that actively hate women and us to roam our streets is absolutely mental. Do I think that placing unchecked Eritrean and Afghan men in communities all around the country is a good idea? Funding their hotels and pocket money? No, I do not. Would I make life so uncomfortable for these illegals that they chose to leave themselves before they were forcibly turfed out? Yes, I do. Or yes, I would, I guess, in this case. I stand by every word I said. Implement the hostile environment, stop the benefits, stop the boats, force the illegals to leave, mass deportations. It's the only way. And all I could say was, good man. Cthulhu, what are these fucking sentences? Get the judges in the dock now. So Polanski and Corbyn don't like you. If evil people hate you, you might be doing something right. Yeah. You can judge a man by the quality of his enemies. I have to figure out who that is. Oscar Wilde. You can always judge a man by the quality of his enemies. Is widely attributed to Oscar Wilde. Yeah. Corbyn and Polanski will always put the interests of non-whites first. Polanski has an ethnic reason for doing so. Corbyn is just a traitor. Yeah. Restore UK. That is a beautiful image. One of the few things that I actually appreciate about AI is that it's made art accessible again. Or accessible to more people. Is this... No, this isn't even close to the last one. Okay. Oh, man, this one. 16 Canadians are dead, 13 more were injured. A deportation order was issued. That should be the end of the story. Instead, a federal judge intervenes, CBC runs a sympathy piece, and suddenly the conversation is about him. Canada has laws. They meant something at sentencing. Why don't they mean something now? His family are Indian citizens. India is stable. They can go be a family there. The 16 families who lost someone don't get that option. This is what happens when sentiment becomes more important than the law. For those of you who don't remember, that is... And I have to scroll down because I can't remember his full name. Here we are. Jaskirat Singh Sidhu. He caused a bus crash for the Humboldt Broncos a few years back. The almost motorist who caused a Humboldt Broncos pileup committed 70 violations of sovereign and provincial trucking regulations in 11. What the fuck am I reading here? One article called him hardworking. Where is this article from? I think it's probably the Indian News or the Hindustani Times or something. Jaskarat Singh Sidhu should not have been on a highway. Yeah, calling it a genocide is retarded. Settled a Saskatchewan government news file. Oh, God, that's terrible. Agreed statement of facts. Yeah. Sidhu admits to having done wrong. He's ordered deported, and yet somehow a federal judge decides that he stays. Why do we keep rewarding people who do us harm? Yeah. Our Charter of Rights gives judges flexibility in treatment of disadvantaged citizens. Yeah, apparently disadvantaged equals anyone who's not a straight Christian white male. We have way more than two-tier justice. Between the Indians getting lighter sentences simply because they're Indians, between the other Indians getting lighter sentences simply because they might be deported. It's fucking retarded. There's no other word for it. Our justice system is absolutely retarded. Jaskarat Singh Sidhu's lawyer did not... he didn't even argue the deportation. He's probably content to go home. Noting the official had limited discretion because all that is required to deport Sidhu is proof he is not a Canadian citizen and has committed a serious crime. He killed 16 kids driving badly. It's vehicular manslaughter at least. And he's a permanent resident. He's not a Canadian citizen. He doesn't enjoy the protections of the Charter. Ariella is absolutely right. He should have been deported 2 years ago. This isn't complicated. He murdered 16 people. Well, murder is a bit much. But culpable homicide would be fair. Injured 13. The fact that anyone's still debating this is absurd. We've seen this meme with different words. But I like this one. The activist judge repair kit. Yeah. Let's see. And his wife's GoFundMe page is playing the victim sympathy card stating he's got mental health issues, 2 anchor babies, one with complex medical health issues, inbreeding, who requires both parents had to be home for caretaking. Why was he driving? Or did you have that baby since the accident? Yeah. No charges for driver in 2023 Manitoba bus crash that killed 17 seniors. Yeah. 16 innocent people dead. You deport? No, we're past the point of deport. This is what happens when you put liberal progressive judges behind the bench. They co-opt the law for their own personal agendas. Who was the judge that intervened with the deportation? Jocelyn Gagné. Let's have a look at Jocelyn Gagné. It was a temporary deferral. Oh. There we go. Just grab their page has been archived. Okay, we won't go with that one then. No images? No images. How interesting. I'm sure we've got at least one image somewhere. Is that actually her? Yep. Oh, hang on. Do that. So this is what she looks like. Didger says, let them have a home on another continent where the village can help raise the child. Yeah. So this is the judge who did this. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be the I hate it when I'm proved right section, but I didn't trust Peter Magyar, the new head of Hungary. Something about him just put me off. Hungary, 2 weeks after the election. This from Steve Eugene Kahn. Updated list. The first LGBTQ flag was hoisted in Budapest. Rainbow TV is launching for kids. The veto on the 90 million euro fine to Ukraine was lifted. Oh, sorry. The veto on the 90 million funding to Ukraine was lifted. He appointed an LGBTQ activist, Minister of Education, to help reform the education system. This is for all those who said Peter Magyar really tricked the EU. He is further right than Orban. Stephen claims he told you he was a globalist sellout. I said I wasn't sure if we could trust him. I'd like to be able to say it's nice to be vindicated. It definitely is not. Yeah. Let's see here. Nothing wrong with loving your neighbor as you would like others to love you. that doesn't require a flag and TV channel. That's not what the rainbow shit is about, you damn fool. Who pays you? Of course, yeah. All negative. I see nothing positive in that list. Exactly. Tried to warn the cheerleaders too. No one listened. Soviets are brutal, but Brussels is making Stalin look not so bad. I don't know if I'd go that far, but we're definitely needing to give the liberals a good hard shake and point out to them that their redefinition of the word fascism needs to be fixed again. Okay, so this one is kind of... Hang on, is this nowhere near my last one? Okay, I have one for you specifically, Didger, as well. And we are witnessing the fall of Hungary. Yeah, Hungary's fucked. This one's a bit of a... how to put it? Bit of a heartwarming thing. Sort of. It's one of those things where to get to heaven you had to pass through hell.
I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. I would love to be a homemaker and a wife. I would love to be able to live on a homestead and go milk my cow and take the eggs out of the chicken coop and have one baby in the belly and on my hip and another toddler coming behind me. That's like my dream, but I can't fucking do that because the way the economy is set up is I'm forced to work.
Yeah, remember, women wanted to work, now they're forced. Okay. Nope. Did I freeze? Or is it just going to be slow? Bring the video back up. Okay, then. Okay. That one's just being slow for whatever reason. So we'll give that a few seconds here and see. There we go.
50s in a second just so I wouldn't have to deal with this shit.
You're talking about a traditional nuclear family where the woman doesn't work in a married household with kids.
And statistically, that was the case.
You're a single woman who isn't married with kids yet.
So I'm for it because of the way it is. Most women were married by the age of 21 up until the 1970s.
I think it's a woman's choice. Before that, it was societally encouraged to marry young.
Yeah, and it was better for women.
It was better for women. That's the important part. It shouldn't have to come from a woman when other people have been saying it too, when men have been saying, look, it would be better for women too if we went back to the way things were. Unfortunately, y'all won't listen to us because, you know, you've been indoctrinated to believe that male wisdom is dirty somehow.
Mental health wise, long term, to be able to go into that long term committed relationship and have the established family instead of being forced to slave away for a corporation that doesn't like you, doesn't care about you, makes you sit under fluorescent lights for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. You get a lunch break, you get health insurance, but do you have somebody who loves you staring at you every day like your child? No. It's horrible. I would love to be a stay at home mom. I would love to be a home.
Yeah. Right. And women should want that. There's nothing wrong with it. And I pointed out, you know what we need when it comes to stuff like this? More. Yeah. Christy T has a very good point. Al Bundy was a shoe salesman. Not an owner, not a manager, no shareholder, just a worker in a shoe shop. From one 9-to-5 job was able to afford to pay for a large house, 2 cars, a non-working wife who spends a fortune. Yeah, 2 teenagers in the States. Yeah, it was a sitcom, but it wasn't out of reach for most people back then. I know women who, in public, swear work is liberating and promote the girl boss life, whereas in private they cry about the stress of having a job. Excuse me. And fantasize about being stay-at-home moms. Yeah, here's the thing. Women will say that in public because they want other women to think well of them. They believe that that is the, for lack of a better term, the party line, the acceptable attitude. And women are all about being socially acceptable. Women like to build consensus. They like to prevent conflict, which is fine. But it tends to hobble them when it comes to reality sometimes. 2 workers a household was a mistake. Yeah, it was, Lucius. Mr. X says, she's full of it. I don't believe her. The reason she can't have that is her personality. No one wants to marry her. If that's what she wants and I can manage to give it to her, fuck yeah, I'll marry her. You may find having a thing is not as pleasing as wanting a thing. It is not logical, but it is often true. Something Spock said the feminists should listen to. Yeah. Double-edged sword opened up options and jobs to women at the cost of happiness, quality of life. And now we're in a situation where we can't easily get the women back out of the workforce, no matter how much we may want to for their own good. Because the minute we start moving women out of the workforce and into traditional relationships again, the government will just start shipping in more foreigners. Who, ironically enough, live that way, where the woman stays home and the man goes to work, and they have a pile of fucking youngsters. Weird. Yeah, okay, that one can go. From Father Kelvin Robinson, oddly enough, for an atheist to present that. Yeah, I actually do like Calvin. It's fairly based. There are now hundreds of churches. I thought I was following Calvin. There are now hundreds of churches being burnt down in France and Germany every year. Dozens a year in the US and Canada, as well as Britain, Spain, and Austria. Christendom is under attack, and nobody can ever name the perpetrators. What is going on? And, of course, he used Tommy Robinson as the source, but in any case, I did respond. In many cases where the churches aren't being burnt down and the land sold to build mosques, the buildings themselves are being sold and converted to mosques. This exact thing has happened here in Newfoundland, of all places. At least one church that I know of in St. John's, beautiful old Catholic church, sold. It's a mosque. Yeah. No comment. No comment. Happy National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, yeah. It isn't necessarily those people with the noses that are... or Muslims even. It's not necessarily one group doing it. What's happening is there is such an anti-Christian, anti-white sentiment, such anti-Western sentiment, that these people don't feel any prick from their conscience about burning down a piece of history. Right. Do I have footage of that protest? I do not. Okay, so there was footage of a protest at Downing Street. A lot of people at Downing Street calling Keir Starmer a traitor. From Stephen Barrett. Breaking. I understand that Downing Street are now reporting that Keir Starmer has, I quote, run away. I understand that Keir's logic is that if they can't find him, then they can't make him resign. And I pointed out, this reminds me of Trudeau's reaction to the truckers' convoy. Yeah, just avoid the problem until it goes away, right? Yeah. Yeah, at least the cat named Larry likes me. And even Larry thinks you're a wanker. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. What is it? Yasser Crocofat. Greatest threat to Britain. Yeah. Where's Keir? Yeah. Eef. Brave Sir Keir ran away. I didn't. Tucked his tail between his legs and bravely fled. I didn't. If you haven't seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, go watch it. Okay, we've got two left. Okay, this will be the last American one. And talking about Afroman, oddly enough. Good news, in a Channel 5 interview, Afroman endorsed Arval, that's Return to the Land, endorsed our white community in Arkansas. He says, quote, I'm with it. I don't mind them having a whites-only community. Just don't get mad when I have a black one. We don't have a problem with that. We've never had a problem with that. You do what you want to do for your people. We're trying to do what we want to do for ours. And Eric Arval even said, if you need help setting up your black community, let us know. Right? Good man. We're 100% winning in the public discourse on this issue. RTTL was right to take a firm stance and not hide. Discussing this endorsement on our podcast tonight on my YouTube. Is that from today? from the 23rd, so it's a couple of days old. And I pointed out, I have been more shocked by the revelation that the racial integration of U.S. schools had to happen at gunpoint over the objections of both races than I have been by any number of other disclosures. Yeah, I was nowhere near as shocked by the Tuskegee Airmen revelations or, some of the MK Ultra discussions or disclosures that I've talked about as I was by the simple fact that the U.S. government forced the military to force their own citizens at gunpoint to integrate in schools. Crazy. Speaking of crazy, let's talk about Didgers, buddy. It's Wob Canoe. Holy crap, Canadian Premier escalates fight with the USA. Maybe we should up the ante. Make them release the Epstein files for us to lift the booze ban. The president is mentioned a huge amount of times in the Epstein files. They want to talk tough. Okay, let's listen to Wob Canoe being a wob.
Understand the economic threat that is coming from the United States, but what you're proposing here is them removing tariffs on steel, aluminum, lumber, and autos in exchange for that one concession on American alcohol. Is that what I'm understanding?
100%. Yeah, that's right.
It makes sense to continue this ban.
It is very difficult for me to restrain the urge to make a comment about his heritage, and the only thing he's concerned about is booze.
And it almost seems like, we know that it works, and we see that it is effective because it is getting their attention. But do you think that it makes...
Yeah, I'm sure the Americans are absolutely mortified by the fact that we're not buying booze from them. Most Americans don't even have an idea that Saskatchewan exists, let alone where to find it. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Table Salt says, this relationship is going to zero. Full divorce, hostile neighbors. Yeah. And I point out, these people have no grasp of realpolitik at all. Imagine thinking you can pressure a foreign government to release what amounts to classified documents over a single item trade issue. Yvonne says, the only reason Wob Canoe isn't mentioned in the Epstein files is because he's an absolute nobody. Trudeau is mentioned, so is Kearney. There are images of Kearney with Epstein photos. Trudeau is mentioned, so is Kearney. Trump is mentioned because Epstein didn't like him. Trump ran in the same social circles as Epstein, and then Trump threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. The whole thing is just a mess because there are so many influential people in those files that no one is comfortable dumping them. Trump is not comfortable because he has business associates, political allies, and potentially friends who are involved. Right? The Democrats will never do it because Clinton. Right? Wob is probably drunk. I'd say he's stoned. Days Canada has not been an international embarrassment. Yeah, I did say on a different post, fuck Clown World, I live in Clown Country. Yeah. Interesting. Kearney has 69 results in the Epstein files. Excuse me. From New, this Canadian Premier Wob Canoe rules over a flyover province that is mainly frozen tundra with one major city, the most violent in the country. The Premier is an Ojibwe native who has been in trouble with the law, etc. Please ignore your DEI elected official, if you will. Yeah. How many Wob Canoes can Wob Canoe if Wob Canoe could canoe? He's Manitoba. Sorry, my apologies. He's neither drunk nor stoned, he's just a smooth brain. Remember when I said Wob's only superpower was his ability to play the race card? Witness the true intellectual depth of Canada's most popular and frightfully witty premier. Yeah. Yeah, they never talk about this particular relationship. That's not even Epstein, that's just Maxwell. Arguably the bigger problem. I like this idea, but I would have a clown nose in there instead. Wob Canoe has been convicted of impaired driving, has been charged with domestic assault, was arrested for punching a taxi driver, and was charged with assault in Ontario. The collectivist hero has double domestic assault from 2003, refused to breathalyze her in 2003, assaulted a taxi driver in 04, breached court orders twice in 04, committed assault in 04, theft under 5,000, 2005, 2006. Yeah, elected by a margin of 18,000 votes on 200,000. Yeah, who was the other choice in that election? Couldn't have been any better. I don't understand this new narrative. Biden released none of the Epstein files while Trump had 2 releases so far. Really? You honestly think what Trump released was actually useful? Nice try. Yeah. Yeah, you might not want to do that. Yeah. Trump was the one who started this whole mess. He was the first to call the cops on me in 2004. Yeah, this is Epstein talking about when he got convicted. After hearing rumors about what was going on at my place, I thought we were friends, but he flipped when I got too close. Yeah. Approximately 90% of Canadian alcohol exports go to the U.S. Yeah, because they like our beer better than they like theirs. Because our beer is better. Okay, that's going to be it for the recorded section of the show.